Hi, and welcome to Lunch with Lisa, where I make quick and easy, delicious meals to get you through your week. And this is my new series all about tracking macros to fit your goals. We'll make some macro-friendly meals, some meal plans, and some shopping lists. I'll be sharing with you everything that I've learned about macronutrient tracking. So let's dive into our first video on Macros 101, Fueling Your Fat Loss Journey. It's Lunch with Lisa. Tracking is one of the best and easiest ways to put yourself in control of how much food that you're eating so that you can get in a good calorie deficit and lose the stubborn fat that you've wanted to lose for ages. No more eliminating any foods. It's a very flexible dieting plan, and no more wondering if it's working and understanding how to tweak it if it's not. So let me share a little bit about myself and why I wanted to share this series with you. I've been interested in health since I can remember, since probably my mom came and showed me the Atkins diet. And I've been dieting since then, trying to figure out what to eat to make my body look the way I wanted it to look. And I've been led astray for so long with so many different fad diets and not understanding how to directly control my nutrient intake. It was eliminate carbs from your diet, eliminate bread from your diet, eliminate corn from your diet. Don't eat spinach, it has too much oxalates. Eat this meal plan, but I'm not gonna tell you what's really in it. You'll just make the food and guess that that's just enough for you to lose the weight. But don't eat too much, or eat if you're hungry, don't starve yourself. Like so many things. Work out, don't work out. So many ways to lose weight out there that never really worked because I wasn't ever in direct control over the food going into my mouth. I for sure thought the next fad diet would be the answer to everything. I mean, I grew up in the era where we would watch late night infomercials and that next new gadget was gonna solve all your problems. Of course, they're gonna come out with a new pill that's gonna solve everything. Oh, they have. Ozempic. Who knew? But that's besides the point. I don't want to take a pill to lose the weight. I want to do it through fueling my body properly. So part of my journey and kind of what started off this next leg of my health kick journey was I did do the Optavia diet back in 2021 and lost a significant amount of weight, which is a starvation diet that I no longer recommend. And if you want to hear my full story of the Optavia program, you can go right here, or I'll leave the link down in the description. And I walk through why it's not a good idea. However, good things can come from bad things all the time. And it did start me on this journey of how to keep the weight off. Part of that was learning that I needed to start lifting weights. And I needed to lift them heavy. Like I needed to lift a lot of weight, not just get in there and get a little burn and then leave. Because I had done that before in my previous life. And it got me a little ways, but I never really got to where I could do like a pull-up or a chin-up. And I can do at least 5 or 6 of those now. But in a nutshell, trying to lose weight and keep it off with Optavia, I actually became malnourished and I was under eating. And my hair started falling out and my nails got real brittle and I got a skin rash that wouldn't go away until I added in more vitamins and nutrients, which meant I had to eat more food. My sleep was really bad. My hormones were all out of whack. I was obsessed with food and thinking about food nonstop, having crazy cravings. It was unreal, and I don't recommend it to anybody. So now that I'm eating more food, I can actually work out properly and actually build muscle. And yes, I had to eat more and gain some of my weight back that I had lost with the Optavia program. That is why it's not a good idea to starve yourself skinny, because you will end up gaining that weight back. And then I joined a program called the Granite Bikini Blitz by Coach DZ, and he outlined macronutrient tracking and progressive overload, and I swear by those now. I've seen so many people be so successful in the last year that I've been inside that Fit Girl Club on Facebook. I'll leave the link below if you want to join and learn all about the Blitz down there. I don't get any commission or anything for that. This is just a really great program with a lot of really awesome people. Something else that didn't really serve me from Optavia was my distrust in the whole industry. Because there were so many lies and stuff that I was told during that whole thing that didn't really pan out for me. Just my experience. So I learned to lean in and start trusting Coach DZ and watching everybody. It's been a year since I started working out and tracking my macros. And what I think is amazing is that so many women have hit their goals and like just gone full beast mode. Women have dropped so much fat from their bodies and firmed up and like have these killer bods and like they look 20 years younger. And I spent the last year repairing my metabolism and fixing my hormones. So I'm a little bit behind because I did have to eat to gain some more back so I could stop obsessing over food. But now that I'm back on track, I'm really excited to share macro tracking with you. So it's something that I have been doing for over a year and put it well into practice. I'm really good at it. I'm used to weighing my food and everything. It's great. And I will tell you, it is the easiest thing you can do. Hands down, so easy. You just have to learn how to do it and get past that learning curve. The only way to get good at something is to just practice. But you gotta start somewhere, right? And when you're building habits, you just start without doing it perfectly and you learn along the way. Now, if you're completely new to macro tracking, go ahead and watch this video about macros and it takes you through what they are and how to use them and everything. So go ahead and check that video out and then come back here to finish this one. It'll give you the complete overview. So what I've learned is there's many ways to skin a cat. You could lose weight by doing a starvation diet like Optavia, but it's kind of like the slingshot effect. The further you pull back, the further that rock from it is gonna go. Losing that much weight that fast and probably losing muscle, bone mass, and other things, I wasn't doing my body a service. I was actually depleting it of vital nutrients and minerals and all sorts of things and getting malnourished, losing my hair and my nails. So it's actually better for you to take a more conservative approach to weight loss, but you don't want to do it so slow that you don't see progress. So there's kind of like this middle ground of optimal fat loss. And that's what this series is here to teach you, the optimal way to lose the fat from your body. Yes, it's going to take some patience and it's going to take some time. Optimal fat loss is knowing exactly how much you're taking into your body and being able to adjust it when you need to, and having full control over your caloric content. And it's so easy to do through macro tracking. So conservatively, you want to lose about 1 to 2 pounds a week. Now that really depends on how much weight you have to lose. The more weight you have, the more weight you can conservatively lose a week, up to about 3 to 5 pounds. However, most people aren't at that stage. And if you are, you're gonna see a lot of progress really fast. And that's great. So don't get discouraged if you're only losing 1 pound a week. 1 pound is amazing. That is progress. But let's say you don't have a lot of weight to lose and you just want to build some muscle. Well, that's just going to take recompositioning. If you're normal weight for your height, don't expect to see a lot of weight loss. Fat loss, yes. Weight loss, maybe not, because you'll be building muscle at the same time as you're dipping into your fat stores to pull energy from them in order to fuel your body. But if you don't have a lot of fat, you actually do need to eat more. You do not need to be eating in a calorie deficit, especially if you're lifting heavy weights in the gym, because you need that fuel in order to repair your muscles that you're breaking down in the gym. So yes, you're going to need to eat if you don't have sufficient fat stores. So if you're already at like 20% body fat, you're probably pretty good to add more calories to your diet and eat closer to your maintenance level, if not more. But you should never, ever be eating 1,200 calories a day or less. That's for a toddler. So there's really only 2 things you need to focus on: proper food portion control, which you're gonna learn through my macro tracking series, and progressive overload, weightlifting, training properly in the gym, which you can learn if you take the Blitz, or you can learn from a personal trainer, which I am now actually a personal trainer. I just got certified through ISSA. I have yet to set up a website or start a business, but I will be training women from home in my private gym. So I haven't mentioned cardio, yoga, meditation, all that stuff. Those are all fine to do, but you don't want to overdo the cardio. Cardio is not where you're going to lose weight. It is actually easier to eat less than it is to run more. So you can't really outrun a bad diet. That is still true. So if I go for an hour-long walk, it's gonna burn about 250 calories, which I can easily eat in a snack. Yeah, that's not gonna be significant unless I'm in a calorie deficit already. Then that's a significant amount of calories. So definitely adding steps to your day Great idea. Studies show that NEAT activities actually do help increase the amount of calories you could burn overall. So the more people move around throughout the day, the more calories you do burn, and that makes that calorie deficit even more significant. But you don't have to. You really don't. If you're still recovering from your heavy lifting, don't worry about it. Do not worry about getting your steps in. As long as you stay in that calorie deficit, you're still gonna lose weight. So for this series and on my channel, since it is food focused, we're gonna be focused on the food, on tracking those macros for fat loss. Because I love sharing recipes. Yes, I'm still obsessed with food, but in a different way. Like, I love eating good food. I want the meals that I have throughout the day to be delicious. I don't want just chicken and broccoli and rice. I mean, sometimes, but definitely have some seasoning on there. And don't eat it all the time just because it's easy. Let's mix it up a little bit. So losing body fat is very simple. And I say fat loss, not weight loss, because you could chop off your leg, you could chop off your arm and lose weight. No one wants to do that. We want to lose the fat from our body, which may not mean that we're actually losing weight if we're also training in the gym and building the muscle. Fat does not become muscle, but fat is our fuel storage that can fuel the muscle building. That's why if you don't have enough fat on your body, you will not build muscle if you're not eating enough food. So you have to fuel your body. You have to eat enough food. If you have some fat on your body, and not a lot, you're going to need to eat some food to replace that. Otherwise, you're gonna find it very difficult to train. It's gonna be really hard. So losing body fat, it's very simple. There's one thing that you need to do it. Do you know what it is? I'll wait. If you said calorie deficit, then you're correct. Yep, that's the only thing you need for losing fat. Now, how you do it can be complicated, or you can make it really simple. Really, all you need is a food scale and access to the internet or apps on your phone. So if you want to make a spreadsheet to track your macros, you can use the website Calorie King. It's pretty accurate to find the calorie content of each food and then to plug it in. And a lot of times you can see that on the package if you buy something with a barcode. But let's say you buy an apple. You're gonna need to weigh that, but also look up the calorie and macro content of that apple. Because yes, apples have fat. It's so weird. Or if you want to use an app on your phone, you can use something like Chronometer, Chronometer, however you say that, MyFitnessPal, which I don't really recommend anymore, or Carbon Diet, which I've been using, and you have to pay for it, but I actually really like it. It's super simple and it works with you. There's a little coach in there too you can use or not use, but I've really grown accustomed to using it. There's no little flashy ads or anything on it. It's great. And I think it's like 10 bucks a month. So Lisa, if all it takes is a calorie deficit, how come there are all these other diets out there claiming to be the one that works? Well, because they all put you in a calorie deficit. They all actually work if you follow them to the T. But human error can get in because they're all kind of indirect ways to get into a calorie deficit, like removing whole food groups or reducing the amount of time that you're available to eat, like intermittent fasting and all that stuff. So they're still all about trying to get you into a calorie deficit. But here's the big but, is since it's an indirect way to count your calories, you can still overeat on all those foods that you're allowed to eat versus all the food group that you're not. You can still overeat during the time frame that they give you to eat. You could still eat 3,000 calories in a 3-hour window. You could still eat 3,000 calories worth of vegetables. Well, I don't know about that. But you could still overeat to where you're not in a calorie deficit anymore. It's a little bit harder because, you know, all these high volume foods, if you're not eating calorie dense foods, yeah, you're gonna see progress in the beginning. And then a lot of times what happens is you plateau and you don't know why, and then that diet doesn't work anymore. Let's try this diet over here. And it may work for a time and then doesn't work anymore. Let's try this next diet. And that's how people yo-yo diet and go from program to program. And that's why a lot of people end up yo-yo dieting inside of one program, because they see progress, then they stop the program, and then they go back on the program to get progress again. And then they just go back and forth from a program to their old habits, to a program to their old habits, because they don't want to change their lifestyle at all, which I totally get. So we don't want to give up whole food groups. I love bread. I love chocolate. I love ice cream. So those kinds of diets are not for me. I want something that's gonna incorporate all the foods that I love, and I'll be able to eat anything that I want if it fits my macros. That's why the whole if it fits your macros is really popular, because it does let you incorporate any food that you want. Then you get the food that's like not very high volume, and then you start getting hungry, and then you start overeating and stop tracking your macros. So you have to also think about what's going to be good for me, what's going to fill me up. And then sometimes you decide maybe it's not worth having the ice cream today, but I'm going to have it tomorrow. I'm going to make sure I plug it in. So the trick is with counting macros is to get really familiar with weighing out your food in grams, and then looking up how much protein, carbs, and fat is in each one in grams, and plugging it in to your app or your spreadsheet, and getting really familiar with how that all works, how much you're eating, and then how to really use it for efficiency. Because you don't want to be weighing your food and plugging it in and like trying to worry about it when you're hungry and you want to eat the meal. No. So here's another trick, is you want to plan ahead. You want to have that whole day planned out in your app or on your spreadsheet, so that all you have to do is open the app to reference how much apple am I going to eat today, and you look, oh, it says 100 grams. So you're going to cut up the apple, weigh out 100 grams, and eat it. Done. And then you've entered that in the night before or the morning of, and you don't have to touch the app to look things up or play around in it at all. You're just in the app briefly each time right before your meal to weigh it out. Or if you really plan ahead, you have a meal prep day and make your meals and have it all weighed out, and you don't even have to touch the app. You just pull it out of the fridge and eat away. How cool is that? So planning is definitely in the structure of macro tracking. You just gotta do it. And it gets way easier the further you get into this, because then you come up with days that you can turn into weeks, that you can turn into shopping lists, that you can turn into meal prep days. And before you know it, you're like this well-oiled macro tracking machine. And you've changed your lifestyle. Like, this is how you're gonna do it from here on out. And then once you get really good at tracking your macros, then you're gonna start tracking your micronutrients. And you're gonna see what kinds of vitamins and minerals am I getting in the food that I already eat, and where are the holes that need to be filled in. And that way you know exactly what supplements to take. Now, MyFitnessPal is really good about showing you a lot of those. Love that. Carbon Diet does too. What I liked about MyFitnessPal is it shows you kind of the daily allowance that you should be having. Like for fiber, you can set, 25 grams, 15 grams, but it tells you like how much sodium you should get per day. And it lets you know when you've gone over and all that stuff. But the Carbon Diet app just shows you how much you're getting. So you have to look up, am I getting enough vitamin A? Which if you eat 100 grams of sweet potato a day, you'll get enough vitamin A for the day. And that is really actually a pretty small portion. All right, I can talk about theory all the time. I want to give you something tangible today to take with you and show you how this looks in real time. I'm gonna share with you my current menu for the week. And this is what I do to prepare for my week. And of course, you're gonna adjust the macros to fit your own needs. Don't go by mine. This is for my body. This is not one size fits all, okay? You're gonna actually work out how many macros you need for your goals, whether it's to lose fat, maintain your weight, or add weight. I'll be going over how to do all of that in my next video, so definitely hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. And this is just one day in my life. And this is what I've been doing for the whole week, just to make it easy on myself. It makes my shopping easier, it makes everything easier. And yes, I do get sick of eating the same thing, so I'll change it up a little bit here and there, and I'll show you exactly how I do that when I explain the meals. This has just been what I've been doing for now, and I'll probably come up with another day and make a whole week out of that too. So every day when I wake up, I drink a bunch of water and I have a banana. Bananas are something that helped my skin so much, I just can't stop. So I have a banana every day, and it's usually a couple hours before my workout. So I get up, have a banana and some water, and then I journal, and then I go meditate. And then I go into my gym, which is now in my garage, and I do my workout, fueled by my banana. And then by the time my workout's over, it's time for breakfast. So it's been about 3 hours since I ate the banana, and I'll come in and I'll have a serving of the quiche that I made for the whole week. It comes out to be 8 servings, so I have one of those a day. They're already pre-cut. And then I scramble about 250 grams of egg beaters, slather those with some hot sauce and some cilantro from my garden, which I don't track. And then I put half a cup of milk in my frother, get some hot water, and make a cappuccino with some stevia and some instant espresso. And about 3 hours later, I have lunch. So around noon, I have a really big salad. And this provides a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, and it's very high volume, low density foods. So it fills me up without overeating. So it takes me a little while to eat this salad. It's pretty big. I used the serving bowl to eat it out of instead of an actual small salad bowl. This isn't a tiny little salad. And if I'm hungry, if I want to just fill my stomach up, I'll drink a calorie-free soda, something just to fill my stomach with those bubbles. It's good. Then about 3 hours after that, I'm ready for my snack. I definitely love snacks. What I've been eating right now is some high protein yogurt. I like the Oikos yogurt, the vanilla, and then I'll add in some fruit. And then about 3 hours or so after my snack, I eat my dinner. And my dinner is really high in protein because I am trying to add a little bit more protein to my diet and not too many carbs before bed. I save my carbs from earlier in the day when I need the energy after my workout. That really doesn't matter. It's how I've been doing things and it works. So I keep doing it. And if my macros allow it, I'll have another snack before bed. Otherwise, I just drink water for the rest of the evening and maybe a hot tea or something if I'm cold. But I'm usually not. It's the summertime right now. You're never gonna know exactly how much energy is in your food because, everything is different about food, from the growing process to how much fat the chicken ate, all that stuff. You'd have to send it to a lab to know exact amounts. So all of this is still just a guesstimation. It's just a more educated guesstimation. It's more of a direct way to monitor what you're putting into your body. Now, this day is my calorie deficit type day. So it's eating around 500 calories less than I would need to maintain my weight. So this whole day comes out to be around 1,550 calories, and that's with 138 grams of protein, 161 grams of carbs, and 40 grams of fat. It's really a great idea to have a few days like this planned. Plan them out. You can even turn these into shopping lists so you know exactly how much you're eating throughout the days, and you can add all that amount up and then transfer it to, oh, I need this much in that one food. And that's gonna keep you on target when you're at the grocery store. You're going to stay on track. You're only gonna buy the foods that you need. You're not gonna overbuy, and then you're not gonna underbuy, which puts you at risk if you're going back to the store and you're kind of hungry, because then you might make that impulse purchase and buy that ice cream that you wanted to keep out of the house. But feel free to buy it anyways and fit it into your macros. It's so easy to do. Now, the next question I'm sure you're asking is, what do I need to eat to be in a calorie deficit or maintain my weight or even grow your muscle? Well, this next video is gonna answer all your questions. I'm gonna help you figure out where your maintenance should be and what your calorie deficit should be, and how much to add and what to add if you want to eat more for bulking. Because I know you can't wait to get started fueling your own fat loss journey. It's lunch with Lisa.